They have shared the precious Passover meal together, and they head to the Garden of Gethsemane. The disciples must have been really confused, trying to process what had just happened. Bread and wine, a new covenant, revolution, betrayal, sacrifice. Jesus and his friends head to the Garden of Gethsemane. He is now all alone in the garden. How different the days earlier. There are no crowds now. This is a choice only he can make. We often forget the humanity of Jesus, but here he wrestles with the decision that lies ahead. Maybe there's another way. Maybe he has misread the Father. Perhaps, like Abraham and Isaac, an alternative sacrifice will be found at the last minute. No. Instead, he's comforted by an angel. He knows what lies ahead, the sacrifice. But a decision is made. Jesus goes back to find his disciples asleep at the time of his greatest need. He must have felt so deserted and isolated, so alone. The light from the torches dances through the night sky as the arresting party approaches. This is the moment when darkness reigns. As his disciples awake and rub their weary eyes, they face the arresting party. Is this the start of the revolution? Is that Judas? Judas crosses the divide and betrays Jesus with a kiss, a sign of friendship. The armed guards move in, and Peter reaches for his knife. This is the revolution. He charges, swiping off the high priest's servant's ear. No more of this! Jesus interrupts the violence, and he demonstrates this revolution is not one of violence. This is a revolution of love. Just imagine. He makes no attempt at fighting back, no attempt at hiding, no attempt at escape. Jesus hands himself over, and his disciples flee. They didn't want to be implicated. And there, in that moment, the sacrifice is ready. Jesus knew the suffering that awaited him, the emotional pain of being deserted by his closest friends, the physical pain of being crucified, and then the spiritual pain of being separated from the Father. The stress of what was coming was so intense that he sweated blood. And yet, with the full knowledge of all that lay ahead, he still uttered that prayer, "Not my will be done, but yours." Jesus courageously surrenders himself over to the will of God, knowing what is in store. If you want to enter the kingdom of God, we must pick up our cross. He shows us courage, and he invites us to surrender.